We have Nick Iacopi. Am I pronouncing that right?
Iacopi.
Iacopi. There we go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick. Who is St. Vincent's basketball coach. But you've been coaching for a long time, right?
Yeah. I've been in the community of Petaluma for a while. Started at Kenilworth. Coached there for 1 year. Had a great team, fun team to play. Then I coached at Casa for about 7 years with Coach James Forney. Great experience. And then shifted over to Petaluma for a few years with Scott Bears. And then when they hired Tom Onfigley here, he brought me in as his JV coach, and this was my second year replacing him.
Yeah, I had Tom on a couple of times. What a great guy. I mean,
he's an amazing person. Yeah, amazing man. Yeah.
Was it the Bond Father? Is that the?
Yeah, he goes by the Bond Father. Yeah. Anytime I get a chance to have a conversation with him, I take advantage of it because he still teaches over here, so it's nice to have him around.
Yeah, he came in. I mean, looked like he was dressing for like a work interview or something like that. I mean, he's pretty snazzy.
Yeah, he's a very professional person. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, great to have you on, Nick. So. Let's go back a little bit. So you grew up here, Petaluma.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your Ed was your dad.
Ed was my dad. Yeah, and grew up basically in that Casa Grande gym. Spent a lot of time there with him during his practices, and kind of the ball boy as a youngster, and kind of followed his path. To be honest with you, pretty amazing father I had. I'm thankful for that every day.
Yeah. How long did he coach at Casa?
He was there over 20 years. I know that.
That's a long time for any coach.
And then, he stepped away when I was actually off to college. He stepped away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
had some great teams over there.
Yeah, Casa's had some standouts. Didn't they have? Didn't one of the kids play pro for a while, or?
Josh Okoyen, was playing like he had, and I know he's done some stuff with the Kings in the league, and then he's played a lot of pro ball overseas. I know that. Yeah,
I think I ran into him once just randomly in town or whatever. I was going to get him on, but they never made the connection again. But I kind of looked him up. Kind of looked him up.
Super nice guy. He would come. We used to run. I still run the camp, Big House Hoops camp at Casa, and he would come and talk to the kids. Always great time. And it's something I did with James Forney, and I've continued it here at St. Vincent's. And this year I'm running it at the junior high, so I'm excited for that this summer.
Yeah, you've coached a little bit. I mean, all the way back to what, Boys Girls Club, CYO.
Yeah, I did. I did my stepson Austin, and my stepdaughter Alexis played some Boys and Girls Club. I started there, and then, like I said, got to Kenilworth 1 year. And then ended up at Casa from there, and then it just kind of took off from there.
Who was on those Kenilworth teams? I'm trying to what years would that
be? I only coached there 1 year, but I had Anthony Bender. I don't know if you know familiar with him. He's a professional pitcher.
Yeah, I had Anthony on actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Jake Marini, Cole Boggs, Jared Roberts. That was a great team.
Yeah, really it sounds like a lot of good athletes.
They were fun. Yeah, I think we went 14-0. So it was really fun, but getting the opportunity with James, I took advantage of that right away at Casa. So
tell me a little bit about James, because I think the last I've heard his name kind of bounced around a couple of times. I think when who did I have? Last week I had Petaluma's new head coach on, and he was mentioning him all the way back to Casa. So was he involved in more sports than just basketball, or?
He also coached football at Casa when I was there.
Okay.
Or my son came through. He used to coach freshman football, but I had joined him. Yeah, he was a young man. Obviously, passed way too early.
Yeah.
But just what I learned from him was like seeing how he developed relationships with the kids, and it was just amazing to me how, walking around campus, Coach Forney, everybody knew him, everybody loved him. He was really good at showing me how to develop relationships with kids. So I learned a lot from him in that aspect, as well as the X's and O's for sure.
Yeah, it's very important. That's half the battle right there, is is developing chemistry. And, I like to, one thing I read about you, when you first got the job, is, you got to have fun playing the sport too,
For sure. I think that's important. And in today's modern athlete, it's different than when I came up, obviously. You kind of got to pick your battle sometimes, which is not the most popular thing in the eyes of everyone. But, just trusting your kids and understanding, like, certain things that they have to do and certain things that maybe they might get away with sometimes,
Yeah.
But this year's team is a really fun group, a very dedicated group. And at practice, sometimes we had our moments, but I think when games came, they were always ready, and that's what I appreciated about them.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of hard workers. I know you had a lot of some of the football players. Were playing there, and
I mean, obviously with a school of 150, we're sharing athletes over here, and it's good that me and Trent kind of have the same beliefs when it comes to allowing them to try to play as many sports as they can, because they're making memories. They're making memories, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, and at St. Vincent's, it's that kind of school where if you are interested in playing all the sports, I mean, good.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely encourage with our freshman level. Like, even if they've never played, it's a good opportunity for them to try it and see if it's for them. And you just never know if a kid's going to be 6'1" and now all of a sudden he's 6'5", so you just don't know when that could happen.
Yeah, that's true. Or some people develop skills very quickly too. Where maybe haven't been around the sport that much, and then all of a sudden, wow, they just kind of clicks.
Yeah, and football athleticism is very helpful on our side of things for basketball, for sure, because they come in, they're tough, they're strong, they're disciplined for the most part.
Right.
So it definitely, the crossover helps us for sure.
Yeah. I was trying to get Trenton on for a while, but the kids are in school or they're playing basketball or different things. But I think may try to get them on maybe next week or the week after that. Get some of the kids in here like Gabe and Mason and those guys, and get Trent. I think Trent's going to have to call in, but that's fine. Some of the kids have been in here before and interviewed. But so let's talk a little bit about the season here, because it was a very successful season, one of the most successful ever for St. Vincent's. You guys are 23.
I mean, it's the first time we've ever won a NCS championship, so that's pretty cool. I was very pleased with that. No, it was a great season, and my assistant coach Michael Baribolt and myself, when we set up our schedule, we went into the season knowing we were going to challenge ourselves against bigger schools with our off-season, off-league record. Teams that we had to play because of league. So we challenged ourselves and played at St. Bernard's and played Terra Linda and played some really tough teams, San Rafael, Sonoma Academy. So we ran into some really good opponents, and it was good for us long term.
Yeah, I could see that, because you guys, early on you were, kind of winning, and then you started playing some of those really tough teams. But I didn't see too many blowouts though, as far as those tough.
Yeah, I mean, we had a rough one up at Fort Bragg. We ran into Chico, Division I Chico, and they were something else, and we weren't good that night. But no, for the most part, I felt like we, on a nightly basis, we competed at a pretty high level.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the San Rafael game, but you guys had kind of a little bit of a streaky season, because you had those tough teams you played. And I think you had winning streaks. I know you finished with that 8-game winning streak before the last game, and then I think you had like
some big things happened in that Rancho game. We came back in that fourth quarter down 16.
I
think the guys, and that was the boys, man. They just, every huddle, every timeout, every conversation I had on the sideline with them, they knew they were going to win, and I'm like, okay, go do it. It wasn't a complicated thing. We got momentum and never gave it back. So after that game, I think they truly saw what they were capable of, and it got easier to kind of push them to play at a high level because they were just doing it by themselves.
Yeah, a little bit down, about that game. I mean, you were down at halftime.
Yeah,
I think
they handled us for 3 quarters.
Yeah, and then you were down. You're down 16 points, which for high school, that's a lot. I mean, that's because you guys, when you're averaging, you guys average 58 points a game, right? Over the season, but being down 16 and try to come back, but you outscored them 25-7 in that fourth quarter.
It was
that's
a combination
epic.
of a lot of guys did a lot of special things. I mean, Dylan hit some big shots, and Jack Ellis had 3 different and ones, and George just saw the court. I mean, it was crazy how, Gabe hit a couple big layups. It was Barrett's shot that tied the game. Barrett Chaput was the craziest play I've ever seen. It was like missed layup, rebound, missed layup, rebound. It was just a crazy, crazy, crazy outcome. And it was just, I mean, honestly, the kids, every single huddle is the most engaged I ever saw them. The most, I just looked in their eyes and I could just tell they're not going to let themselves lose tonight. And it was fun to be a part of. I'm not going to lie.
Because Rancho was really good.
They were good.
9-1 in league, right? So
yeah, they got us at our place. It was pretty close, and then at their place, they got us pretty good. And going in, I know that was at least the seniors. They were locked and loaded to try to beat them because we knew it was the last time we were going to play them. At least the seniors.
Yeah, and George had a great game that game. 15.
He's a different kind of point guard. I don't know that I'll ever have another one like him. He's, he's tall, he's athletic, he's strong. He plays like a dog all the time. Like you never have to challenge him to play hard. And he ended up being an amazing leader. He was our captain, him and Jack. And, the kids gravitated to him, and he took his job seriously. And when there was issues at practice, he would always have my back. And come on, guys, let's go. Let's stay focused. So George he's a special player, and it was fun to watch him here for 4 years because he just got better every year.
Yeah, I was really impressed with his stats, and that particular game, 15 points, 9 boards, 6 assists, 6 steals.
Yeah.
And that's one thing with you guys for the season. I mean, you guys averaged, I forget how many steals per game, but it was, I think over 11,
we
11 a game.
That was kind of what created our offense was our pressure defense. And in that Rancho game, the funny thing was we were kind of forced to go to a 2-3 zone because of the foul situation. I had George in foul trouble, I had Barrett in foul trouble, I had Ellis in foul trouble, the way we play stylistically, I get it because we were physical and we got up in you and we weren't like a team that go ahead and just move the ball. Like our goal was always to make it difficult for teams to move the ball.
Well, yeah, it looks like you played really good defense all year. Seemed like
the zone kind of stymied him, and honestly, it wasn't the plan going into it. But my guys kind of enjoyed zone because it allowed them to gamble a little bit more than normal, and things were working that night. We were tipping the ball, we were rebounding the ball well, and that whole fourth quarter just kind of stuck with what was working, and I didn't feel like we needed to change anything. So just. Once we captured momentum, it felt like, they can't stop us anymore for whatever reason that was.
Now, when did you actually pull ahead in that game? I mean, how much time was left in that game? Do you remember?
3 seconds. Yeah, we got.
So who hit the shot to?
George hit a layup to put us up 2. Barrett had hit the basket before to tie it that was a crazy play. I think Dylan missed a layup, Ellis missed a layup, Barrett missed a layup, Dylan missed another layup, and then Barrett put it back in, and that tied it. They went down. They didn't call a timeout. They shot like a tough runner. We rebounded. We tried to turn it over, but I got a timeout before with about 16 seconds, I think it was. Got it into George, cleared out, and it was his read. I said, this is your read. They said, Dylan will be here, Jack will be here, and it's your read. And he got to the rim and finished. They called a timeout, and then they tried to pass a long pass, 2 different passes, and Gabe Casanovas ended up tipping it off at the end. So, yeah, that was a crazy night. Like for memories of this season, that will be a game that I think they'll all remember.
Oh, yeah, they'll remember that one. Well. I mean, Yeah.
Yeah.
But you, I mean, playing Rancho, that sophomore, was it Rush?
Yeah.
Man, he's good, huh?
Very familiar with him. Yeah, he's very good. Very good.
Yeah, he's going to be good for a couple of years now.
very, very skilled, super smart kid. Like, you just see that basketball IQ is off the charts.
Yeah.
And one of my sophomores, Jalen Lott, is his best friend. So yeah, they're very familiar with each other.
Yeah, and Alvarez. I mean, they had some good players on that Rancho team. Yeah,
they do. Yeah, and they were tough to beat. They were well prepared. They knew what we wanted to do. We knew what they wanted to do. So it was always a challenge. And for whatever reason, that fourth quarter, we just found a way to break through that wall, and it was fun to be a part of.
Yeah, what a memorable game. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
sure.
You guys beat Petaluma too. I mean,
yeah,
that's a big game. I always kind of dreamed about playing them. When I think we used to scrimmage against them, and when I was at St. Vincent's, but we, obviously wouldn't play.
Yeah, I mean, that's a game that regardless of how good or bad your teams are, it's that town rivalry.
Yeah.
So I knew, but we came out. We kind of played up and down that night, but the ups were more significant than the downs. So
yeah.
We won kind of comfortably, and it was fun. It was fun to win. That was senior night, so it was fun to celebrate the seniors. All the seniors got to play.
Wow.
So that worked out pretty well for us.
Yeah, it was. I was wondering what you said at halftime, because you guys came out and third quarter 22-7 in the third quarter. So
yeah, I mean
that kind of put the game away.
Yeah, the biggest adjustment was when we went to the press. It kind of changed the whole game.
Oh, okay.
And our press was kind of either really good or really bad, and that night it was very good. So we started creating turnovers, and then the scorers started scoring. George, Dylan, Jack, they started doing their thing, and Barrett Chaput just embraced playing defense all year because he would always have the toughest player to guard, him or Gabe.
Yeah, another guy with a ton of steals. For the season. Yeah. I think you had two guys that averaged over almost 2.5 steals a game. So
yeah, I mean, Barrett's like a Swiss Army knife. He can guard a guard, he can guard bigs, and the way the game has evolved, like being able for your big guys to stay in front of the ball and be able to guard guards is very helpful. And he's that guy. Like, he's just a superior athlete. He really is. Yeah,
kind of like that Draymond Green effect, where you can switch around and play, guard anybody, a center, or a shooting guard or whatever.
Yeah, he's definitely capable of that. But he'll get a chance, next year, he'll be one of the primary scorers, him and Dylan, and obviously the two sophomores coming up will be a big part of what we're hoping to do next year, Joey Panola and Jalen Lott.
Yeah.
Just moving forward, but I think Barrett will obviously have a big role offensively as well as defensively next year.
Yeah, and they played a little bit for you guys this year, right? I mean, you did have mainly kind of a senior crew, but
yeah, I mean, we did. I think.
Yeah, Dylan's a junior, and Barrett, I mean, is a junior, but you got lots of sophomore.
We have two returning starters, but at times we started Jalen, a sophomore. We started younger guys. Levi Kennedy started a couple games. Bruno Ketz started a couple games, juniors. So we're excited for those guys next year too.
And how about now? Did you coach most of these guys in JVs then, or?
No, the guys like the juniors, not as much. I did have Jack Ellis all 4 years.
Okay.
So he played JV as a freshman and a sophomore.
Okay.
I had Gabe as a freshman and sophomore, and then he didn't play last year due to just, looking to see what was out there in the football world.
Right.
This is my first year for Barrett. I've had Dylan all 3 years because he was JV as a freshman and then started last year for us as a sophomore. So I'll have him, I had him this year, and then I'll have him next year. So
nice. But, so you got a good core coming back.
Yeah, I do. I think we may surprise people next year. We won't have the size, obviously. I mean, Bruno's a big, strong kid, but I think size-wise will be a little bit smaller next year. But stylistically, it kind of fits to what we want to do, anyways.
Yeah, you guys
defend and pressure and do our thing.
Yeah, you guys run the ball. Move it and
we look to push.
Play defense, and that wins games too. So.
Yeah, and then, we'll get challenged. We got moved up to the Oak next year, so obviously we're in Cardinal Newman and Annalee and Montgomery and all those, Windsor.
Yeah.
So Rancho's going with us. I thought I was going to get away from Rancho, but nope, we're going up. We're both going to the Oak, so I will have to deal with Isaiah a couple more years, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's what it's about. It's fun. It makes it fun when you're playing better competition, I think. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, it's always, I think you'd always want to, play, stiff competition, I mean.
Yeah, and then, that's why I said earlier, it's like that's what we came into this season learning from last season, like to challenge ourselves more. And, losing 10, 11 games is tough, but it also made us more playoff ready, I felt. Although Reading had a different version of that the other night.
Yeah, but
they didn't miss. They did not miss.
Yeah, but I mean,
it was one of those games where you just got to tip your hat. They were very, very, very good.
Yeah, I saw you guys only shot like 4 free throws too. So I mean, that's.
Yeah, no, it was tough. It was tough. I think the foul count was like 21-5 or something. So, but that had nothing to do with it. They came out and they played really well.
Yeah, they're what?
Yeah.
They ended up 28-3 for the. I know. Are they playing? They're going to go down. Now, did they go down and play somebody in Southern California or?
No, they're done.
They're done. Okay,
that's Southern California D6. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're done.
So that was the state championship game then. So it wasn't.
That was I mean, they call it the NorCal championship.
Okay. Yeah. But it's actually for the state. Well, to make it to the state game though, I mean, you guys beat 2 good teams in Biggs and DH. So.
No, they were. It was not easy. The Biggs game was scary. I mean, we were down at half, but I could tell in the locker room at halftime that they were ready. They were ready to make their push, and we did. And it was kind of a chippy game, but we found a way to get out of it and survive and advance. That's where we're at that point. Yeah,
you had a couple of close games even in the NCS, right? I mean.
Yeah, Averroes came in and played really tough.
Yeah,
really tough. Like they probably played about as a perfect of a game, and we just we hit some big shots at the end and found a way. And my guys had to play full court man press the whole fourth quarter, and I had enough timeouts to rest them. But that was kind of the recipe that worked that night, was pressuring up and creating turnovers. And then once the shooters started finding their shots, we found our way.
Yeah. So, can talk a couple just about the players. I'm going to do about 4 or 5 more minutes with you, Nick. Jack Ellis, I guess, was a big part, led rebounding and scoring. Tell us a little bit about Jack.
Yeah, Jack, I don't think I'll ever see another guy like him. Like, his inside-outside game is amazing, and he's a kid that just has a different feel for the game. Smart, hardworking, good teammate. The kids gravitate to him for sure.
So leadership qualities.
And he had a special trait where if I was in a bad mood or angry about something, he could always find a way to make me smile. And I appreciate that. He's a funny kid. And, the seniors, they're going to be missed. And especially, Jack is one that we'll be talking about around here for years, for sure.
Yeah, and George too. I just like you're going to miss him too.
Yeah, George really embraced the role of being the captain and the leader. And we were not the same team when George was not in the game. Like, he kind of was our motor. He was our go-to when we were struggling. We make sure the ball was in his hand. And what he does defensively, whoever he's guarding, I feel sorry for the other side of the ball because he's going to make it hard on him. He's going to make it hard on him. He ended up getting Defensive Player of the Year in our league, and I think it was well warranted.
So another senior, Harrison?
Yeah, Harrison, we call Harrison Mr. Fourth Quarter.
He had some big games for you. I mean, it seems like, that I was looking at some of the box scores and everything, and you go, oh, wow, he had 14, wow, that was a good...
Yeah, no, he definitely shined when it mattered most. Like, I never had issues with him shooting the ball late in the game because that's when, for whatever reason, he would be more locked in or just ready to go. Like, he loved the moment. And yeah, he had some injuries, some ups and downs coming through the program, but he definitely was one of our key guys, especially late in games.
Wow. Yeah, it was nice to see. I know Gabe didn't play that many games for you, but I didn't even know he played basketball. So it's like
everything changed when he came. When he was healthy enough to go, and when I inserted him to our starting lineup, I think that's kind of where things started to kind of jump to that next level, just because of his defense, his smartness, his ability to take care of the ball, his ability to rebound the ball. He's just, just a smart kid, and just like you never doubted what he was doing. Like he knew, smart kid, and the kids all kind of gravitate him. He's the alpha, kind of without being.
Yeah, he's kind of quiet.
Alpha.
I mean, when I had all the kids in here,
quiet alpha.
Yeah, when I had all the kids in here one time with Gabe and Mason and everything, they were all, very talkative and animated and everything. And Gabe's just kind of cool. I mean, he's just kind of
he's got a great disposition. I really look forward to seeing what he does in college for football, because I think just the way his mind works and the way he goes about his business, their success is going to be there for him.
Yeah.
And the football program did a great job to prepare him for it.
Yeah. No, it's just a great kid. I know he's going to, there's a lot of great, all these kids are great. I mean, but it's always nice to see a lot of these kids having opportunities to go play sports and everything after high school.
Right.
And,
no, that's what'll be exciting. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing George and Jack and all these guys on campus that, you see on the day-to-day, going out there in the real world and seeing what they do. Yeah,
and getting good educations and
absolutely. Absolutely.
And they've been prepared well by you guys, Nick and Trent, all the coaches there at St. Vincent's. It seems like the programs, all the programs are thriving.
Having Mrs. Campbell on staff, Heather Campbell, I know for football, for sure, for basketball, she took really good care of our guys. Ankles, we had a lot of injury issues all year long, and she always took care of them. So
that's great.
That's kind of a nice luxury for me and Trent to have her around here, for sure.
Yeah, there's always, people you don't mention that are key members in the background.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy that always forgets to mention people. So, but no, it was for my second season, it was something that I'll remember forever. And I'm not an emotional guy per se, but it's probably the most I've ever cried in over 10, 15 years after the other night, losing and saying goodbye to the seniors. It's hard. It's hard.
It's tough. It
was nice to see the genuine emotions coming out of my boys, the true that they care.
That's
they
great.
cared, and it meant a lot to them. And we made, like I said, we had some fun and we had some ups and downs, and we took our lumps. But at the end of the day, I think they all should be proud about achieving playing 34 games and getting to that northern championship and winning a NCS championship. So, we have our goals every year, and we were able to reach a lot of them, which makes me happy and makes it's about them and their time, and hopefully they have a lot of really good things to look back at, because I know I do.
Yeah. Hey, great talking to you, Nick, and great success for the coming year. And I'll keep in touch.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you taking the time talking to me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.